I'm 81 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might deeply upset you. Because what I'm about to say contradicts everything your parents taught you, everything your school told you, and everything your culture rewarded you for. Everything you think you know about success, about building a good life, about what matters, it's completely backwards. And the worst part, the people running society know this. They just need you to believe the lie. They need you desperately. I spent the first 60 years of my life believing exactly what they wanted me to believe. I had the six-figure salary, the corner office, the vacation home I barely visited. I had the promotions, the accolades, the respect from people I didn't actually like. I built a real estate company from nothing. We grew it to 200 employees across 5 states. I made more money than I ever dreamed. I had the penthouse, the cars, the respect of my industry. You would have looked at my life on paper and seen success. But I was empty. At 67, something happened. A phone call in the middle of the workday. And what I discovered in the 14 years since then has completely rewritten how I understand everything. It's too late for me to get those years back, but it's not too late for you. I'm making this video because I don't have much time left, and I refuse to watch another generation throw away their lives the way I threw away mine. Not for me, for you. If this resonates with you, I want you to share this video. Leave a comment telling me what you're going to do differently. And subscribe, because I have more truths to share. And honestly, not much time left. The clock is running. Now let me tell you the fundamental lie. The lie that structures everything. The lie that your entire life might be built on right now. Here it is. Happiness is a destination. It waits for you at the finish line. After you make partner, after you hit your number, after the kids are grown, after retirement, that's where the good stuff begins. That's where you finally get to relax and enjoy yourself. You know what? I believed this so completely that I organized my entire existence around it. I postponed joy for 40 years. 40 years. I told myself stories about why it made sense. I'll travel when the business is stable. I had the money. I never took that trip to Italy. My wife wanted to go to Kyoto for 15 years. Kyoto. Let's go next year, I said. Every single year, we never went. I'll spend more time with my kids when this project ends. But the projects never ended. They multiplied. I miss soccer games I can't even remember now, and school plays that happened without me. I'll finally relax when I have 10 million in the bank. I got to 15 million. I was more anxious at 15 million than I'd ever been in my life. I didn't relax. I just found new reasons to stay on the hamster wheel. I did this exact thing for 6 decades. Every single postponement felt logical at the time, necessary, responsible, like I was being smart, being an adult, being serious about life. But here's why the lie works so incredibly well. The goalposts move. You hit the first milestone, and suddenly there's another one waiting. You make 100,000, now you need 200. You get the title, now you need a bigger title. It's a rigged game designed so you never actually arrive. The system is built so that arrival is impossible. You're always just one more achievement away from being satisfied. One more rung up the ladder. One more promotion, one more zero in the bank account. And what you don't realize while you're climbing is something critical. Something that didn't hit me until I was almost 70. The ladder you're climbing is leaning against the wrong wall. You'll reach the top one day and look down and realize you spent your entire life, your one irreplaceable life, climbing toward emptiness. I'm standing on top of that ladder right now. I can see the view. And let me tell you what I see. Nothing worth the climb. The mechanism of this lie is genius, actually. Diabolical in how well it works. You see, there's always evidence that you're on the right track. You get the raise, you get the promotion, you close the deal. For a moment, maybe 48 hours if you're lucky, you feel good. You feel like you've arrived. Your brain releases dopamine. You feel successful. And then, this is the key, then it becomes normal. That raise you fought for, it's just your new baseline within a week. That promotion, already forgotten. The deal you closed, on to the next one. The goalposts don't just move, they accelerate. They move faster the closer you get to them. It's a machine designed by people who understood human psychology better than we understand ourselves. I watched this happen to me over and over. Every achievement was supposed to be the one that finally satisfied me. I told myself, when I hit $1 million, that's it. I'll be done. I hit 2 million. I wasn't done. When I own the company outright, when I have complete control, then I can rest. I owned it. I controlled it. I couldn't rest. There was always something else, always another metric to hit, another competitor to beat, another person to prove something to. The game has no end because the end is the point. Keeping you running, keeping you desperate, keeping you believing that satisfaction is always one more step away. Here's what society doesn't tell you. Success is a terrible goal. Not because achievement is bad, not because ambition is wrong, but because success by its very nature is hollow. It's external. It depends on other people's opinions. It's a moving target. It's a game where the rules keep changing. Society worships success because successful people are easy to control. They want more success. They're predictable. They're desperate. They'll sacrifice anything, their health, their families, their happiness, for another hit of that external validation. There's a psychological term I learned too late in life, hedonic adaptation. It means you get used to things. You hit the goal you've been dreaming about for 5 years and you feel good. Amazing even. For maybe a week. Then your brain adjusts. Your new reality becomes your new normal. And suddenly that thing you would have done anything for feels ordinary, empty. You need the next thing. You're a hamster on a wheel, running faster and faster, and the wheel just keeps spinning. The speed increases, your legs get tired, but the wheel doesn't stop. It never stops. Every achievement gave me this brief dopamine hit, this moment where I felt like I'd made it, I'd succeeded. People congratulated me. I got the corner office, the title, the bigger paycheck. For about 2 days, I felt different, better, superior, if I'm being honest. Then it wore off. The emptiness came right back. It came back stronger. The approval from others lasted about as long as a dessert you eat without tasting. Gone before it's finished, and you barely remember what it tasted like. I've talked to hundreds of successful people in my life. The ones who made real money, built real empires, achieved real status. Not a single one of them told me they felt happy. Relieved maybe, safe perhaps, but happy? No, never happy. They just felt tired. You know what the truly tragic part is? I had a business partner, Stephen, brilliant guy, maybe smarter than me actually, hungrier definitely. He was going to become a billionaire. He actually told me that. He was 53 years old when he said it. He was going to make it. One more year of this push, he said. One more year at this intensity, and then he'd back off. Then he'd travel. Then he'd see his kids graduate. Then he'd do the things he loved. He just needed to hit this number. He had a heart attack in the parking lot of the office building we owned. He didn't make it to 54. The paramedics found his phone in his hand. His wife said his last email, sent 3 minutes before he collapsed, was about a problem with a property deal. He was worried about money he'd never spend. He was anxious about success he'd never enjoy. All that hunger, all that drive, all those goals lined up into the future like dominoes. It just stopped. One moment, he was going to be a billionaire. The next moment, his kids were at his funeral trying to understand why he'd missed so much. That's when I started to understand something. This isn't a story about working too hard. This is a story about what you're willing to trade your one life for. What are you actually buying with your time? What's the real price you're paying? And is anything you're getting worth what you're giving up? My regrets aren't about failures. They're not about deals that fell through or opportunities I missed. They're not about money I didn't make or positions I didn't get. My regrets are about time. About all the moments I didn't choose to be present for because I was choosing to be successful instead. And here's the worst part. Some of those moments, they're just gone. They're not coming back. I can't get them back no matter how much money I have now or how much time I supposedly have left. The trip to Kyoto with my wife, she wanted to go for 15 years. 15 years! She'd leave magazine clippings on my desk. She'd talk about the temples, the gardens, the simplicity of it all. Let's go next year, I said, every single year. The next year would come and something would come up, a deal, a crisis, a reason. We never went. Last year, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. We'll never go now. She doesn't remember wanting to go anymore. I remember for both of us.
My daughter's high school years, she was becoming a person right in front of me, and I was in board meetings. She'd ask me to come to her games, her recitals, her school events. I'd tell her I would try. I didn't try very hard. When she turned 18, something changed. She stopped asking. That hurt more than any business failure I've ever experienced. She stopped trying to get my attention because she finally understood that my work mattered more than she did. I can see it in how she talks to me now, polite, distant, like talking to an uncle she doesn't know very well. I always wanted to learn to play guitar, just a hobby, just something for me, not for achievement or status, just the joy of making music. But I told myself I'd do it when things slowed down, when I had more time. I'm 81 years old. Things never slowed down. The time never came. Now my hands shake sometimes, and I'm not sure I could learn even if I wanted to. I spent 60 years waiting for a moment that never arrived, and now the moment doesn't exist anymore. Then there were the conversations on the back porch with my father. He'd sit there in the evening, especially as he got older, and want to talk about his life, about things he wondered about memories. I'd cut them short because I had work. I'd see him settling into that chair and feel this impatience rising up in me. I had emails, I had calls to make. He's been gone for 11 years. I would give everything I owned for one more of those conversations. Everything, all of it, and I can't have it. But the one that keeps me awake at night, the one that shaped everything that came after, it's my mother. She lived 2 hours away. She raised me. She was the most important person in my life for the first 30 years, and then she became an obligation I managed. She called on Sundays, every Sunday. That was her ritual. She'd call and want to talk. and I'd see her name on my phone and think, I don't have time for this right now, I'll call her back. I'd call her back on Monday, sometimes Tuesday. She was patient. She understood I was busy. She loved me enough not to make it a problem. She had a stroke, no warning. I was in a meeting when it happened. I was sitting in a conference room talking about square footage and profit margins while my mother was having a stroke 2 hours away. When I finally got to the hospital, she couldn't talk very well. She'd had significant brain damage. She lived for 3 more years, but she wasn't really there. And what I wouldn't give, what I genuinely would trade my entire fortune for, is one more of those Sunday calls I didn't have time for. Just one. That's my real regret. Not the things I did wrong, not the mistakes I made in business. All the Sundays I didn't pick up the phone. Here's what you need to understand. There won't always be more. You think there will be. You're convinced of it. You think that person will always be there, always be available, always be waiting for you to have time. There won't always be more Sundays. There won't always be more conversations. There won't always be more chances. I learned this the hard way, and it broke something in me that maybe can never be fully repaired. But it also changed everything. When my mother died, I couldn't go back to work immediately. I couldn't. Something broke in me. I had an awakening that felt like waking up from a coma. 60 years of that coma. I stepped off the treadmill for the first time since I was 25 years old. It was terrifying. But it was also the first time I actually started to understand what being alive meant. In the 14 years since then, I've learned more than in the previous 60 combined. Not about business, not about achievement, about what actually genuinely matters. I'm 81 years old. That's old. Let me be very clear about that. I'm not a young person giving you advice from some imagined future. I'm an old person speaking from the end of things, from the place where you can actually see the full arc of a life. The doctor told me maybe 10 more years if I'm lucky, if the heart holds out, maybe 15 if I'm blessed. That's not a metaphor, that's not dramatic language for effect. That's a medical reality. It's printed on papers in a file with my name on it. And you know what? Once you know that, everything changes. Every single morning I wake up, I understand something fundamental that most people your age will never understand. I'm on borrowed time. The fact that I opened my eyes is a gift I didn't earn. The fact that I got this day is pure luck. It's a lottery ticket I won just by not dying in my sleep. We're all on borrowed time, really, every human being. But most young people don't understand this. You think you have decades. You think time is infinite. You think you have time to waste on things that don't matter, people who don't matter, a life that doesn't feel like yours. You don't. Here's the irony that would make a philosopher laugh. I'm happier now at 81 with a fraction of the money and none of the status than I was at 45 when I had everything society says you should want. When you understand that time is actually finite, when you accept that the meter is running and you can't refill the tank, something shifts inside you. You stop deferring your life to some imaginary future. You start to actually live, not prepare to live, not postpone living, actually live right now in this moment, which is the only moment that's real anyway. I watch my grandchildren. They're in their 20s and 30s now, and I see the exact same patterns playing out, the exact same disease, different generation, same infection. They're stressed, they're anxious, they're chasing followers on Instagram like I chased zeros in my bank account. They're building personal brands instead of actual lives. They're so focused on the image of success that they're missing the actual experience of living. They're taking photos of their food instead of tasting it. They're filming their trips instead of experiencing them. They're documenting moments instead of being present in them. I try to tell them, I really do. I pull them aside and I say, you don't have to do this. You can live differently. You can choose a different path. And you know what they say? You don't understand, Grandpa. My situation is different. My career is just getting started. I can't afford to slow down. I have student loans. I have to build my brand. I have to make connections. I have to be visible or I won't succeed. They're living in the storm right now, and it's impossible to see clearly when you're in the middle of the storm. The chaos is all around them. The noise is deafening. They think their situation is unique. They think the pressure they're under is different than what previous generations experienced. They think they need just 5 more years and then they can breathe. Just 5 more. Just until this milestone. Just until they get that job or that promotion or that relationship status. And 5 years will pass and there will be another 5 years waiting and then another, and then one day they'll be 81 years old and they'll understand what I understand now, but it will be too late. That's why I'm making this video, not because I think it will change everything, but because maybe, just maybe, one person watching will hear something that lands different. One person might choose differently before they waste 50 years. Let me be very clear about something. If I could go back and sit down with my 25-year-old self before the ambition took over, before the machine started consuming my life, here's exactly what I would tell him. Stop trying to impress people who won't care about you when you're not useful to them anymore. Stop sacrificing your health, your sleep, your family for a job that will replace you within a month of you leaving. Stop postponing the life you actually want to live. Stop saying someday. Someday is the most dangerous word ever invented. Stop waiting for permission to do the things that matter to you. You don't need permission. You're an adult. Stop measuring your worth by your net worth. Stop ignoring your body's signals that something is wrong. And then I'd tell them what to start. Start calling your parents, not texts, actual conversations. Listen to them. They won't be here forever. Start taking the trips you dream about, not next year, now. Even if it's just a weekend, do it now. Start doing the things that scare you. Start saying no to obligations that drain your energy. Start saying yes to experiences that fulfill you. Start paying attention to the small moments. Start having conversations that matter. Start now, not when you get the promotion, not when you save enough money, not when things calm down. Now, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You're probably thinking right now, this is all true, but the timing isn't right for me. The timing will never be right. That's a lie you tell yourself. That's the voice of the machine speaking through you. You'll never feel ready. You'll never have enough money. You'll never have finished the project. You'll never be in the perfect position. The timing isn't a condition that will eventually be met. The timing is now. It's always now. It's only ever now. Life will always be complicated. There will always be bills to pay. There will always be obligations waiting for you. There will always be emergencies and crises and reasons to stay on the treadmill. The complexity doesn't go away when you get successful. It multiplies. I have less money now than I did at 50, and my life is simpler. But when I had all the money, I had all the complications too. More money doesn't simplify your life. It complicates it. It gives you more things to worry about, more people who need things from you, more obligations you can't refuse because you have the resources to handle them. You know what it feels like to wake up at 81 and realize that you were so busy preparing to live that you forgot to actually do it? It feels like waking up from a 40-year dream and finding out it's over. It feels like looking down at your hands and not recognizing them. It feels like calling someone's name and no one answers. It feels like being a ghost in your own life. You're present, but you're not there. You've been going through the motions for so long that you've forgotten what the motion was supposed to be for. You've forgotten why you were running. You just know that you were supposed to keep running. So here's the choice you need to make right now. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, right now. There are 2 options. That's it, 2 paths. Option A, keep living exactly like you are. Chase the next achievement. Postpone the joy. Tell yourself it's temporary. Tell yourself it's necessary. Tell yourself you're being responsible. Watch 30 years go by, then 40, then 50. Wake up old and full of regret. Realize that all the money, all the titles, all the achievements added up to nothing. Nothing. You'll have climbed a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall, and you'll have no time left to get another ladder. Option B is different. It's harder in some ways and easier in others. It's choosing now. It's making one different choice today. Not a perfect choice, not the ideal choice, just a different choice. Then another different choice tomorrow, then another the day after. It's saying no to something that doesn't matter, so you have time for something that does. It's calling someone you've been putting off calling. It's taking that trip you've been postponing. It's creating space for the life you actually want instead of the life you think you're supposed to want. Don't want to be 81, lying in bed at night, thinking about all the moments you didn't have because you were chasing a feeling that never came. Don't want to have conversations with your kids when they're grown and realize they don't actually know you. Don't want to wake up one morning and realize the people you love most have moved on or passed away and you squandered your time with them. Don't waste 30 years figuring this out like I did. Some of you watching are 20. You have 60 years ahead of you. Some of you are 40. You have 40 years. All of you have less time than you think. Time isn't something you notice running out until it's almost gone. Think about it. Really think about it. 5 years from now, you can be 5 years deeper into the same life you're living right now. Or you can be 5 years into a different life. 5 years from now is either going to come as part of the same pattern or as the start of something different. You're the only one who gets to decide that. No one else, not your boss, not society, not the algorithm, not the people who benefit from you staying asleep. You get to decide, and the decision happens now. Someday is today. It always has been. The only time that's actually real is this moment right now. You're not living in tomorrow. You're not living in 5 years or 10 years or 30 years. You're living now, this second, this breath. And every moment you trade for a future promise is a moment you'll never get back. Every Sunday you don't call your parent is a Sunday that's gone forever. Every trip you postpone is a trip that might never happen. Every conversation you put off is a conversation that might never be had. Every moment you choose to be somewhere else, mentally, physically, emotionally, is a moment that's lost. If this resonates with you, share it. Send it to someone you love. Send it to someone you're worried about. Leave a comment and tell me, what are you going to do differently? What's one thing you're going to stop postponing? Subscribe, because I don't have much time left, but I'm using what I have to say, the things I wish someone had told me when I was young. And I want to know your answer. The clock is ticking. It's ticking for all of us, but especially for you, because you still have time to choose differently. So here's my question for you. Are you going to?